Students, let's start with our next part, that is macroeconomics. We have finished with the micro part. We have covered meaning, definition, scope, features and importance. Now we will start with the macroeconomics. First part, meaning and definition. Again, it came from Greek word, right, macros, which means large. Then behavior. What is macroeconomics? Why it is called macroeconomics? Because it deals with the behavior of aggregates of the economy. Remember this word, aggregates. What is aggregates? Aggregates means total. In microeconomics, we have seen that it is individual term, and here it is aggregates of the economy. So it considers, instead of individual demand, it considers aggregate demand. What is aggregate? Aggregate is total. So in micro we study individual demand, in macro we study aggregate demand, aggregate supply. Aggregate means overall, A plus B plus C etc. Total demand, total supply, national income. Instead of particular person's income, we are considering here national income, country's income, national output. Okay. So again it came from Greek word macros, which means large. It deals with behavior of aggregates of the economy, such as aggregate demand, aggregate supply, national income, national output. Then I have already told you, in definition part you have to by heart it as it is. So here I'll just go through it. J.L. Hansen, two definitions have been given, Hansen and Carl Shapiro. Hansen definition: macroeconomics is that branch of economics which considers the relationship between large aggregates, again the word aggregates, such as the volume of employment. He means to say that it deals with total part, aggregate part of the economy. So employment, total amount of saving, investment, national income, etc. Second definition, Professor Carl: macroeconomics deals with functioning of the economy as a whole. As a whole means complete economy. Then let's start with the features of macroeconomics. See, from the definition only, our first feature start with study of aggregates. What is aggregates? Aggregate means total. So macroeconomics studies the behavior of aggregates of economy, that is aggregate demand, aggregate supply, national income, national output, etc. Then second is policy oriented. Now what is policy? We have already discussed policies are framed by government. It may be export-import policy, it may be taxation policy, economic policy. Different policies are prepared on the basis of macroeconomics. So it suggests suitable economic policies which help to promote the economic growth. Different policies are framed according to economic conditions which helps to promote economic growth. Then next is income theory. Now students, do you remember we have studied that in microeconomics we have studied that it is called price theory. Microeconomics, here we are saying that macroeconomics is called as income theory. Remember this for objective of a give reason part. Why it is called income theory? Because it studies the concept of national income, its different elements. We study national income in macroeconomics, then we then we study national income concept, then we study different methods, then we study different elements. It's social accounting. Social accounting means what? What are the conclusion of it? How it affects the nation? All these are studied in macroeconomics. Then it deals with aggregate demand, aggregate supply. It explains causes of fluctuations in national income. Then we have different business cycles. All these are considered, all these are studied in macroeconomics, and that's why it is called as income theory. Next point is interdependence. Now what is interdependence? Independent means not dependent. Interdependence means everything depends on everything else, which means that all variables are dependent on each other. For example, here they have given one example. See, changes in the level of investment. There is change in the investment and it is affecting what? Income level, output, employment, and after all, conclusion is it affects economic growth also. What they want to prove, what they want to tell us, they want to tell us that how one factor affects other factors also. So here, remember this, everything depends on everything else. Then we have lumping method. Do you remember we have studied that slicing method in microeconomics? We divide the economy into small parts and study each part separately. But in macroeconomics, what we are doing? We are studying the whole economy. We are lumping, lumps are there, lumps are there. So we are considering whole economies. That's why here they have given the example that it's a study of whole forest. We are not concentrating on a particular tree, but we are talking about the overall forest. Whereas in microeconomics we consider particular tree. Then we have general equilibrium. Remember this concept also. All variables are taken into account. In partial equilibrium, microeconomics, we consider partial equilibrium. What is partial equilibrium? In partial equilibrium, we consider single variable, and with that single variable, we study the equilibrium, how it affects the equilibrium. But in macroeconomics, we consider the general equilibrium, and general equilibrium tells us all the variables are taken into account, and then we study that part. Then next is then we have growth models. Macroeconomics studies various factors that contribute to economic growth and development. It is useful in developing growth models. They have given here one example, Mahalanobis growth model. What it is? The person that model says that higher the capital, your economic growth totally depends upon the rate at which capital is produced, or higher the rate of capital, then your economic growth automatically changes. It has positive side. So growth models are also considered, also studied in macroeconomics. It is useful in developing growth models. These models are used for studying economic development. Then we have general price level. What is this general price level? Whatever prices of goods and services presently in the country, it will change day by day. With that general price level, we can see that purchasing power of a person, of a consumer, also changes. Sometimes there is inflation, sometimes there is deflation. So it considers the general price